You want to know something that's bullshit? So I was live on Monday for the national championship game, like, Rumble, YouTube X, and on TikTok.
Mhm.
And within 45 minutes, I get taken down on TikTok for gambling. And like, I'm not gambling, I'm just like talking about picks and stuff. And then I open TikTok to like read the full report of like why I was banned and everything.
Mhm.
And the first, dude, I literally open the fucking TikTok app. And what is the first thing I see? A FanDuel fucking ad. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I get banned for gambling. And the first thing you're going to show me is an ad from FanDuel. Like you got some balls, kid. You got some balls, but I was not happy about that whatsoever.
Well, yeah, they got to make their partners at FanDuel happy. They can't, you weren't promoting FanDuel, so they.
Well, if listen, like I know we've talked about on the show, like we're not gonna like take gambling money or anything. I'll take gambling money at this point. Like
Yeah.
you want to give me a bag, I'll shill for your shitty book. I'm gonna talk about how shitty it is and how you're screwing fans, but you gotta live with that. You know what I mean? I never mentioned a book or anything like that. Like I just said, like, oh shit, I'm taking Indiana minus 18 and a half like an idiot. And then it was, oh, banned for gambling. And it's like, Jesus, have a funny bone. Anyway, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3, 2. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofict one, AJ. Joining me, as always, man with the number, sportsbook whisperer, college basketball guru, daddy of the diamond. All hail the king of the links, the money train, Noah. Dude, how you doing today, bud?
Oh, I'm great. Number one team in the country is playing tonight. We love that.
Wait, I'm sorry. Number no, I've been a little busy this week. I haven't been keeping
Sorry.
up on my paperwork.
I
Was it number one or was it unanimous
I
number
misspoke.
one?
Unanimous. Finally,
Okay.
I don't know why it wasn't a week ago. Somebody with their high britches thought, "Oh yeah, Iowa State's a better team," and they lost twice. So we'll see. I will be boots to the ground in Tucson on Saturday for the U of A West Virginia game. So looking
Hell yeah,
forward
brother.
to that one.
Your
Uh,
boots on the ground there for Saturday. I'm boots on the ground for UFC 324. This is a big sports weekend for the show.
Hell yeah, hell yeah!
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah, always a good day when the Cats play.
Always. I forgot the Cats play on Saturday. I get to throw a bet on them before I go to UFC. Oh, let's go, dude. Gonna be a great day. But yeah, Cats are number one. I mean, as we should be with the best. I was talking with a coworker today at work, and he was like, and we were talking about LeBron James for some reason. We got on the topic of LeBron James, and we were talking about
As one
his. No, but like we were having an actually like he's an educated man. Like he was like, like LeBron and his steroids and everything. When that eventually comes out, his legend's gonna come down. I'm like, my man, you're talking to the right people. And he's like, and I thought his sons would be good, especially that who's down there at U of A, that Bryce kid you guys got. And I was like, hey, no, it's not that he's probably not good. It's that U of A is just stacked. And I mean, just absolutely stacked right now. Best team Tommy Lloyd's ever had, as we've talked about multiple times. Noah, best team I think I've had eyes on since my time at U of A. I mean, I'm even talking those Chris Christoph times, those Ayton times and everything. I think this is maybe the best team I've had eyes on with the University of Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, the only team that I would have in the same conversation in at least the time that I've been paying attention to U of A would be the 2013-14 team.
Mm.
That being said, that team did start 21-0 and then still stumbled down the stretch. Ended up in a 2 seed, I believe. Actually, that might have been the year they were the 1 seed, but it was one of those years they lost to Wisconsin in the Elite Eight. That was a really damn good team. This team, I think, looks a shred better, dare I say. Yeah, so I mean, you look at the next 2 games. Next 3 games, I think, feels like, yeah, because the one after that, I believe, is at ASU.
Yeah.
It feels like it should be. Actually, no, it's not at 8 because I believe we have these two, and then it's maybe at BYU before we play at ASU.
Yeah, ASU's beginning of February, I believe.
No, it's 31st. I just can't remember if there's a game.
Also, McCormick in the chat. What is good, brother? How you doing, my man? Well, while you look up that, Noah, I'm going to go ahead and take care of some business and thank everybody for listening and watching over here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. While Noah continues his Google. Noah, did you finish your Google?
I did. Yep. So, yeah, Cincinnati at home tonight, West Virginia at home on Saturday, and then it is a matchup at BYU next Monday. So, quick turnaround.
Ooh, next
in
Monday.
Provo
That's
on
my live
Monday.
day.
Feels like that's going to be could potentially be the first loss for this Arizona team. We'll see. They should be 20-0 going into that game. BYU, they're a hell of a team, but that's going to be quite a Monday night basketball game.
It absolutely will be. And like Tommy Lloyd has said, maybe a loss is good for this team. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'd prefer to be like, I can't believe these words are about to come out of my mouth, Noah. I would prefer that the U of A acts like the Indiana football team and just puts belt to ass every single week all the way down to the national championship game. Let's go ahead and start there, Noah. The Natty was on Monday. Absolutely. Here's where I want to start, actually. Before we even get to the Natty, Noah, a lot of talk about the college football playoff, a lot of talk about formatting and everything like that. The possibility of expansion obviously will come considering the money that is made in the college football and the, what's it called? The advertisements and everything like that. But, within the 2 years, I got to say, one of my favorite of the 2 years so far. Like this one, I really feel like I know like we came into this one, like there's really only 4 teams that are going to win this one. There's only really 2 teams, and then even from there,
3 of them lost their first game.
Exactly. No, exactly. And like, I know there's something to be done about the, the scheduling and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like every game, even like the blowouts were bangers. It never really felt like it was a bad game that I was watching. It might have just been because it's the playoffs, because I'm getting used to the scheduling and everything. But I do believe I am okay with making this take now that the expansion from the 4-team to this expanded format is good for the sport and is good for college football. I am on the same side, though, that we got to fix the schedule. We cannot, like next year, January 25th is going to be the national championship game. We cannot have the national championship game be a month into the third quarter of the college semester, of the college year. We just can't have that.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't think they need to expand anymore.
I agree.
Obviously we've had a lot of conversation about this. I do like giving the nod to a group of 5 team or whatever, give them a chance. Hard part is it's like this deep Cinderella story from a group of 5 team just doesn't feel like it's in the cards in football like it does in basketball. And you know what? I'll come out and say it. I didn't think Miami deserved to be in this playoff field.
No, we were both on that side. Like, what the hell are we doing?
I did not think they were good enough. I was proven wrong. They were really good. I just wish Notre Dame would have got a shot at it. I do. And whether that's taking out one of JMU or Tulane in favor of Notre Dame would have been a lot more interesting, entertaining. I would also argue Notre Dame should have probably been in over Alabama.
Oh, well, absolutely. After that ass whooping.
And SEC people are probably going to be like, hell no fucking way. Like, and I get why Alabama was in, right? Because you don't want to discourage, because you leave Alabama out this year, you're going to discourage teams from even wanting to play in their conference championship games. But Notre Dame would have put up a better fight than Alabama.
And you know, even with that, let's go ahead and rely on the data that we have. Can you tell me again what the SEC was in bowl games, including playoffs?
Not good.
Oh, okay, yeah, I believe my notes say the same thing as well. Different down there. Doesn't seem like it anymore.
Well, what conference said the last 3 national championships?
That'd be the Big Ten, Noah, and
Oh, yeah,
I believe it was three
three
different schools.
Yeah, yeah. Now the crazy thing is, you'd think there might be an opportunity for a fourth one. Only problem with that logic is, Oregon loves to do this thing where their logo represents how many national championships they have. Shout out to Oregon, by the way. 2 years in a row that they have beaten the national champion in their regular season. Yes, the one this year was Montana State, and it's the FCS national champion. They did not beat Indiana before anyone's trying to fact check me on that. But they did beat Montana State, who won the FCS last year. They had a win over Ohio State in the regular season. So social media being funny, you got these Oregon fan accounts posting their schedule for next year, and they're like, all right, one of these teams is going to be the national champion.
Which one? Also, shout out to McCormick. It means a lot to me that we don't gamble like your friends. It means a lot to me that we are like that. So we appreciate you being in here. But Noah, let's go ahead and get into it. National championship game 21-27. Indiana gets it and gets it good off of a pick. And then Mendoza going in and running one close one in for a touchdown. No, he ran one in, didn't he? Yeah, I'm losing.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. No, I'm sorry. It was a long day at work. But I mean, overall, before we get into the nitty-gritty of it and everything like that, for a team that we believe should not have been in this, what a national championship game.
The whole playoff run by Miami.
Whole
very
playoff
impressive.
run.
I mean, I thought they were. I did pick them to win a close one over A&M, which is what happened. And then I picked them to get shellacked by Ohio State. They win that one by 10. Then I picked Ole Miss to beat them. So, shout out Miami. They definitely way outperformed expectations.
They outperformed expectations, and I think another team that people are going to be looking a little bit closer at next year, especially with the late push they had. And I think we can agree, Noah, it felt like the defense kind of showed up a little bit more in this playoff run than they did for most of the regular season, maybe towards the end of the season.
Yeah. Their defense was phenomenal throughout the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Then you start looking at some of their regular season ACC games, and it's like, what the fuck? Like,
what are we doing?
How where was this defense for and I granted the last 3-4 weeks of the regular season they really kicked it into gear, but for the first 6, 7, 8 games of the season, where the fuck was this defense?
Oh yeah, seriously, where were you? Because then you're in the ACC championship. Then there's no conversation about should an ACC team be allowed in or anything like that. Then there's no conversation about Notre Dame, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, they turned it on. You play your best football when it matters, and that's what Miami ended up doing. But just a little too late, Noah. Just a little too late. Not able to get it done against the 16-0 Indiana Hoosiers. For the first time in school history, not only do they bring home a national championship, but Kirk Cignetti cracks himself a little smile, Noah. I have been loving freezing cold takes all over my timeline with Paul Feinbaum quotes about Kurt Cignetti and how bad of a hire this was and everything like that. I want to get to Paul Feinbaum and our lovely friend Mel Kiper, who's starting to poke his stupid head around. Get a fucking haircut, dude. That haircut's from the 70s and it still doesn't work. Anyway.
It's just getting thinner and grayer.
It's awful. Mel
it's the same haircut he's always had. It's just now getting a little more sparse.
That's the worst part. It's never been in style. But and
it's iconically him, I guess.
The only thing iconic about Mel Kiper is his terrible draft analysis. And that one time that the Colts GM went off on him in the early 90s or something like that. But Anyway, no, we're not talking about that yet. I'll bitch about him later. Let's talk about this Signetti and the Indiana Hoosier team, because Indiana opens up as co-leaders for the national championship title. Them and Oregon, I believe it was, odds-on favorites to win coming out of next year. And with what we've seen out of Signetti the last two, Noah, not out of the last 5 years. He's been building this program, building this culture. And no, he just decided, I'm going to go to the transfer portal, bring in a bunch of G5 guys that feel disrespected, build these teams up, and then.
No, I'm going to stop you there. Not just G5. He's brought in other power forward.
Yes,
guys,
Noah, but
guys with experience. Guys with experience.
Yeah, guys with experience, older guys, an older team, and they continue to run. And he seems to be doing a lot going into next year, too. We've talked about Hoover at length. You believe Hoover a way better quarterback than Mendoza coming into this Indiana team next year.
I didn't use the word way, but I did say I think Hoover will be, even though Mendoza won Heisman this year, I think Hoover's an upgrade, and he can do. The question with Hoover for me is going to be: is he going to carry the same level of discipline? But talent-wise, Hoover's head and shoulders above Mendoza talent-wise. Mendoza's key thing is he's maybe one of the most disciplined college quarterbacks I've ever fucking seen. Like, the dude just doesn't make stupid mistakes, doesn't do anything stupid. Hoover's a guy who can be susceptible to making stupid throws, stupid decisions. So we're going to see if Signetti can whip that out of him in the offseason.
No, absolutely. And it will be that type of a battle. But one thing that definitely I think will translate over to next year, Noah, and I know Signetti's got a lot of guys graduating, a lot of guys going into, the NFL and everything like that. But one thing will be the defense. And I think the defense is, obviously the unsung hero of this game. I mean, making Carson Beck go 19 for 32, 232, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Not a terrible game from Carson Beck, though.
Not a terrible game from Carson Beck, but Indiana's secondary was just absolutely everywhere at any given point. And they were just making it a hassle the defensive line too was making it a hassle for Carson Beck to get the ball out. And then the secondary was making it a hassle for the receivers to catch a ball. I mean, that's the type of defense
that they were all over Malachi Tony.
Oh, dude.
He was smothered, and
I forgot he was playing for a little bit because he didn't catch a ball for a minute.
Which is funny after he absolutely torched Ole Miss.
Yeah.
A week ago. And then, Indiana definitely had a game plan for him. DBs were on him like white on rice. It was. Yeah, there was. And not just him, too. Like, Carson Beck was not even throwing bad balls, but it was like these routes. And that's the thing with this Indiana defense, right? A guy looks like he's open. By the time you get through your throwing motion, he's not really open anymore.
Yeah,
You're able to complete passes, but there's no yak. Like, you're not getting
no.
These guys are getting tackled. If they catch the ball, they're getting tackled as soon as they catch it.
They were, what I mean? Like, they talk about, in the preseason, it's so easy for the defense because it's see ball, get ball. And that seemed like what it was for Indiana in this game. And for them the entire season, see ball, get ball. Defense goes see ball, goes get ball. And they're right on top of them. And you see a bunch of red jerseys everywhere. And that's, I think, the thing I loved about Indiana this year the most is just how consistent they were time and time again. And that's all Coach Sig. That's his coaching staff. That's everyone in that building, just so consistent, so disciplined. I guess that leads to my ultimate question, Noah. And I hate to sound like one of those guys on ESPN or anything like that, but are we looking at a possible dynasty here? Like, I know it's early and everything, but Signetti, his first year, questionably almost made it to the college football playoff. Arguably should have been in the college football playoff last year. And then
they were.
Oh yeah, they were 10. My bad. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They lost by Notre Dame to Notre Dame by.
You're right. Totally 10. Right. My bad. But you're talking.
By the way, last year, 2 losses. This year, 0 losses. Their 2 losses last year were to the 2 teams that were in the national championship game in Ohio State.
Oh, thank you for that fact check. I appreciate that one. But I guess that makes my point even better. You have Cignetti going to the playoffs in his first year with just a transfer class and kind of a recruiting class,
They,
and you have him,
they were
preaching.
also picked 15th preseason
Yes,
last year, not this season. This season, I think
and
they were picked like third or fourth or fifth or something like that in Big Ten.
yeah, and that was after he went to the basketball game and said, Purdue sucks, and so does Michigan and Ohio State. And then he comes back 16-0 that's next year after. I know with NIL and everything, and Indiana's NIL has definitely been, upgraded here, considering Mark Cuban is a donator and he's not the highest donator to the NIL fund of Indiana. I mean, like, they're going to be fine. They can get Cignetti can get whoever the hell he wants for the next couple of years.
Everybody with money in the state of Indiana or who went to IU who has money, which is actually a decent amount.
A lot of freaking people.
They don't really care about much other than IU unless they're Purdue fans or Notre Dame fans. But let's keep in mind Indiana basketball. Was it 4 or 5 years ago? I can't remember the name of the coach that they had, but they had one booster who told the school, said, I will write you a check for his $12 million. It was like a $10 or $12 million buyout. And he said, I want a new coach in here. I will write you a check. And one single booster, and this is for basketball, but it translates because get these Hoosiers really into football, which obviously they did. They traveled really well throughout the playoffs. Awesome to see. Oh, they're going to be opening up their checkbooks.
Oh, yeah.
They will open up their checkbooks to Cignetti to continue this.
And I got to say, Noah, talk about the quickest turnaround from the absolute joke of college football to, hey, yeah, we'll let you stay in the Big Ten of college football because, your basketball team's really good and you guys are a good basketball school and everything. And now
I haven't been in basketball in 10 or 15 years,
but still, you know what I mean? Like a big name and everything like that in the basketball world. And now like last year, it felt like Cignetti put them on notice, and Cignetti now is saying, yeah, we're here. We're here. And I think Indiana is going to
believe it though.
No.
Last year, granted, they did have a pretty cupcake schedule last year, right? And so they're
the worst team. Yeah, absolutely.
They're two tough games last year. They got blown out by Ohio State at Ohio State in the shoe. And then I believe they lost by like 10 or 14 points to Notre Dame in the playoff. So people kind of wrote it off as a fluke, like, oh, you just played an easy-ass schedule. That's why that's why you had 11 wins. No, they came back with a vengeance. And I think it really set in for me when they beat Illinois 63-10.
See, it was the Alabama game. Like, I started having these visions of a dynasty after the Alabama game.
Oh, I wasn't talking about dynasty. I just was like the moment that I was like, okay, yeah, this team's actually
fair
this year.
Fair.
When they beat Illinois 53-10. And then they go into Eugene. And I wasn't 100% sold, but I was sold enough that I bet on them to upset the Ducks there in Eugene. They'd take care of business. That was like, all right, yeah, this team's really damn good. And
yeah,
I think the only time I really doubted them, bet against them after that Illinois game, which I did bet on Illinois that game. Shame on me. Was Big Ten championship game. I did take Ohio State. I thought Ohio State was going to come out in a real close one.
I did too.
But
hey, shout out to Cignetti. And again, if you really don't understand who he is, Google him.
Yeah, as he loves to say. He wins. Google him. Curt Cignetti did earn $4.2 million in bonus incentives this year.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, but I believe him winning the national championship also triggered a clause in his contract for Indiana to negotiate a new extension with him. Even though they just gave him a new one last year.
I don't know if they'll renegotiate. I did I did see with that $4.2 million. $2 million of that was for winning the national championship. That's built into his current contract. he earned another $1.5 million on top of that for a Big Ten title.
Probably. I
Uh,
need the breakdown of it.
there was an incentive in there for a couple $100,000 for winning 5 or more or 6 or more Big Ten conference games. Anyways, all in all, there was, I think it was $500K or $400K for a college football playoff appearance, but you add it all up, dude made $4.2 million extra on top of his base salary. And, you know, I don't think this is going to be the last of it either.
No. I see a lot of bonuses coming in his future. I see a lot more success coming in Indiana and Cignetti's future. And I'll go ahead and say this take now. It's not the last natty we're seeing out of Cignetti. It's not the last one.
No, and they deserve to be favored early. I know it's way early, but they deserve to be favored going into next year as a national champion because all these guys that they got that maybe some of them aren't coming back, but what was he doing the entire week leading up to the Oregon game and even leading up to the national championship? Oh, yeah, attacking the damn transfer portal and basically just reloading this damn roster. Oh, man. And I know I said it on a previous episode, but it was like the entire thing in the transfer portal, once it opened up, Cignetti's just swinging for the fences, and guess what? He connected on pretty much every single ball there for a home run.
Also, before we move on, I got 2 more things on this. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman winner, MVP, and more than likely number 1 overall pick, as everyone from Raiders ownership and GM was there last night as well. He decided that he decided that he would go ahead and post on LinkedIn. No, and I just want to bring to light, like, he's got a sense of humor. Monday night, my teammates and I had the honor of raising the national championship trophy and bringing a college football title back to Bloomington, Indiana for the first time in history. Great grammar. With the guidance of our coaches and the unwavering support of Hoosier Nation, our band of brothers made the unbelievable believable. Here's what winning a national championship taught me about B2B sales.
That's funny.
And he says kidding, kinda, and then goes on with a great thing. But I mean, hey, not only does he win a natty, guy's got a sense of humor. Shout out to him. And then to the sports writers out there, to the NFL pundits, to the draft, what do we call them? Prognosticators, the draft guessers, the draft analyzers, Mel Kipers of the world. Just because there's only 2 quarterbacks that play in a national championship game does not mean that second quarterback is going to be taken in the top 5. And if I see one more mock draft from someone who gets paid to talk about football that has Carson Beck going to the Cardinals, I'm going to lose my shit. Okay? I'm going to lose it.
Hey, interesting little anecdote or note about Carson Beck. As a starter in college football, obviously he's in his 6th year.
6th year. Hasn't taken college classes for 2 years.
Had some injuries when he was with Georgia, whatever. Miami obviously been very good to him this year. 6 losses as a starter.
At Georgia, and then at a national championship level, Miami.
Yeah, 6 losses as a starter.
I just want to make sure we got the teams on the record.
Here's the other part of that. 4 of those 6 losses. Do you know what the final offensive play of the game was?
An interception that he threw.
An interception
in the last 2 minutes
in a 1-score game.
There we go.
In the 4th quarter or overtime. So, yeah, I mean, the dude's good. He's also only played for teams that are surrounded by 4- and 5-star talent.
Seriously, like, that's why I don't even want to hear it. Like, and here's my thing, Noah. Like, I have issues with him when he's on those teams.
Yeah, throw him on the Jets or the Raiders or Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
No,
massive
fuck you.
show.
Fuck you. Not the Cardinals. Not the Cardinals, okay? Like, listen, I've been through enough, okay? The
Who's he going to
Jets
throw
fans,
to on
they're
the
built for this.
Cardinals?
Huh?
Who's he going to throw to on the Cardinals? Trey McBride every single play?
Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr. every other week. James Conner will be healthy. No, I don't want him. I do not want him. The Cardinals do not need him. Again, there is not one quarterback I want the Cardinals to go after that's worth going after in this draft. That's not Diego Pavia in the 5th round. Okay, I want nothing but O-line, D-line. O-line, D-line this entire draft, Noah. That's what I want. I want to win in the trenches next year because we're going to be asked. I want to win in the trenches.
Pavia, man. Pavia's just a slower Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but he's a 5th round draft pick and not spending a 3rd pick, a 3rd overall on Carson fucking Beck.
That's fine. You guys still
who had to spend 6 years in college. Who had to spend 6 years in college before he maybe gets a 3rd pick grade with the Arizona Cardinals. Who and I'll make this very clear right now, Noah, because our head coaching search is in the absolute shitter. Our head coaching is in the absolute shitter. If Carson Beck gets drafted by the Arizona Cardinals this upcoming draft, he will be the next Josh Rosen. He will be the definition of a one and done. We will pay him to go sit at home or trade him to another team after spending a 3rd pick on him. He will be Josh Rosen. We'll fire that head coach, and then we will beg on our knees for Mike Tomlin to come and save us, Noah. I hate this team.
I did not mean to get you all worked up about the Cardinals, AJ. That was not my point there. Carson Beck's not going to be a first-round pick. I would be shocked if that's the case.
Well, why are a bunch of people that get paid to talk about the NFL throwing this bullshit out there? I get clickbait and everything, but this is just straight rage bait, bro. Like they're literally saying, yeah, no, the Cardinals are going to draft an absolute bum to come and play quarterback for you guys. This guy couldn't do anything in 6 years at 2 teams with nothing but 5 stars.
They probably will. I don't think it's going to be Carson Beck, but they probably will draft some bum.
Not at the 3rd pick. There's not going to be a quarterback available at the 3rd pick. Unless something comes back with a medical from Mendoza and the Cardinals are like, we don't care about medicals.
You guys will end up with like Nussmeier or something.
I'd be okay with Chambliss.
Well, Chambliss isn't, I don't think, going in the 1st round, so.
We'll see what the Cardinals have to say about that.
Although, whoever does take Chambliss, I think if it's, I feel like I really like him as a day 2 pick. I don't like him as a day 1 pick because
I get it's a lot of risk, but
although it's a more seasoned Anthony Richardson, it feels like. So
a more complete package of Anthony. Like, the intangibles that Anthony has, he has as well, but he's perfected those after starting.
With more than 21 games of experience.
Exactly.
Between high school and college.
Exactly. And so that's why and it feels like Michael Bidwell is in that, like our owner is in that mood where it's like, I need an athletic quarterback to sell tickets. And I think Chambliss brings that a little bit more. And then you go ahead and throw that with a Clint Kubiak. Oh my God, that's going to be disgusting. But that's if the Cardinals can get an interview with anyone that's worth half a damn.
It's the least attractive coaching job in the NFL right now.
Which is unbelievable, Noah. I mean, they picked Harbaugh went to the fucking Giants. The Bills are wide open. Sean McDermott's not going to give us a call back. I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at the rest of the openings. I don't have the list in front of me what's open right now, but obviously the Bills way more attractive than the Cardinals.
Yeah, Josh Allen. But hold on, can we sit on the Bills for a second?
Sure.
Because the
Steelers too, Bills, Steelers,
too, absolutely. I think the Bills situation, the Ravens situation is probably the sexiest. The Bills probably a close second. Steelers probably a close third. But let's talk. Steelers is probably maybe 4th or 5th.
Yeah,
I might put the Cardinals above the Steelers because of draft picks and everything.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, neither would I. I wouldn't either.
Steelers have a way more complete roster to work with than the Cardinals do. Cardinals, you're fucking rebuilding that shit. And yeah, you might have some high draft picks, but there's problems at so many positions that like it's going to take.
And our GM is a bum, and our owner
Yes,
is poor
Steelers, you
and
just
doesn't
bring
want
in
to
a.
spend money.
If you're the
Ugh.
Steelers, right? You take that job. You just bring in a quarterback in free agency. Like Malik Willis is going to be a free agent. Like that's on the market. You've got some tension among quarterbacks like Joe Burrow and some other where they're not going to trade Joe Burrow in division. I'd be absolutely shell shocked if that happened. If they trade Joe Burrow, it's going to be to an NFC team.
Joe, I promise you, Joe, our women are so much hotter here than Cincinnati.
Actually,
I promise you, Joe. Joe.
They could ship him to the Cardinals for like 5 first-round draft picks, 4 or
Bro,
5
fuck them picks. Fuck them picks.
And then
bro.
you're not going to be able
to Joe Burrow.
No, and then you're just going to be ass with Joe Burrow.
Well, we're going to be ass and we're going to be cap poor because Kyler Murray's got a $56 million dead cap hit for the next 5 years or something like that. Anyway, okay, Noah, we just went off on a solid tangent that I really want to touch on a lot of stuff. Do you mind if we step away for a hot second and then we break it all down in the NFL and then get into our picks?
Sure.
All right, I just want to refill my drink real quick because we got some good stuff coming up.
Hey,
Before I do that, do you want to take a moment? Shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. I'm the Bro 51 AJ. That's the Money Train Noah. Give us 2 minutes. We'll be right back. Good.
Yeah.
In 3, 2. And we're back. What's up, D-Gens? Bro 51 AJ here with the Money Train Noah. And we got off on a little bit of a tangent there. A lot of stories in the NFL, a lot of stuff popping off. And no, I do want to go ahead and start with the Buffalo Bills because that's got to be the head coaching firing that really shocked me the most. And
you fall short.
I get it.
Enough times, like it doesn't. I wasn't expecting McDermott to get fired, but it doesn't shock me. This has happened before. We've seen it with other teams, other successful teams. I mean, just look at Harbaugh and Tomlin didn't technically get fired, so I won't rope him into this. But you look at Packers in the Mike McCarthy era. It's like, okay, you make the playoffs every damn year. You get a 1 seed half the time, and you can't even get to the Super Bowl. Like, eventually, there's a fatigue that sets in.
I totally get that. Well, I don't totally get that because the Cardinals have never been like that. But
But
like
when
I understand what
you're
you're
so
saying.
successful year in and year out, and you have these great regular seasons, and then you're like, I think it's the fact of like not even making the Super Bowl. Like if Buffalo had made 1 or 2 Super Bowls and lost in the Super Bowl twice under McDermott, I think different story. But it's like you can't even get there. And I think the final straw was this year with no Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson to go through, and you lose. You lose
Well,
to
I agree.
You lose to Bo Nix and the damn Broncos. Like
Fair enough. Fair enough. But then can we get into the crazy part of this whole thing, Noah, with the Bills and all this? Because I agree with you. Like, I get the fatigue and everything. I get all of that. But then let's get into the reports of kind of what broke down there in Buffalo and this firing and everything. And these are just reports, granted, coming from multiple different reporters and everything like that. So take it with a grain of sand if you want to. But essentially, Sean McDermott came in after the season was over and said, here's why we didn't win the Super Bowl. And he listed all of the positions where they didn't have the, what he thought they needed or anything like that.
Always a good idea to tell your boss he's not doing his job well enough.
Exactly. And then he decided to rip him for the Keon Coleman pick, stating essentially that I wanted to get I think it was Waddle. I think it was Waddle that draft. He wanted to get Waddle that draft.
No.
No, was it not Waddle? Was that
Xavier Worthy was Buffalo traded back 1 pick with Kansas City, and they took Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Keon Coleman. Coleman actually, he wasn't like a star
fine
in their 2 playoff games, but he had production in their 2 playoff games.
Outside of Josh Allen and James Cook, name me 3 other offensive players for the Bills.
Khalil Shakir, Dawson Knox.
Damn, I forgot you knew this
Coleman,
shit. I did that test with
Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah. Okay, shut up. No, I forgot I'm talking to you. I did that test with the other guys. And I'm like, that's why they lost. Like, yeah,
Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, you can't forget about good old Mitch. But I don't know. No, I like the wild thing for me. You know what I mean? Fine. You want to get tired with fatigue and everything and not making the playoffs and yada, yada, or not, winning in the playoffs, not making it to the Super Bowl. That's fine. How do you then turn around, fire your head coach, and then say, hey, my GM, I'm actually not going to fire you. I'm going to promote your ass. Welcome to being president of football operations for the Buffalo Bills in Brandon Beane.
Well,
I guess this might be, but hold on, no, let me just finish real quick because this might be a holdup I have being a Cardinals and a Bears fan, and this cruel cycle I go in of head coaches and GMs and everything. But if my memory serves me correctly, Sean McDermott's the one that got Brandon Beane that job. Brandon Beane is the one that's been staffing him with teams that, let's be real, like neither of us expected the Buffalo Bills to be anything special in the playoffs or make a Super Bowl or anything like that. As we said the entire season, Josh Allen has to be Superman. The one game Josh Allen isn't Superman, they lose. I kind of blame this on Brandon. I don't know what more Sean McDermott could have done. And now, is it, of course, easier to fire a head coach? Always. But I don't know, man. And the other reports coming out about Josh Allen's feelings about the press conference today and everything like that. We talk about Joe Burrow demanding a trade. We talk about Justin Jefferson maybe demanding a trade this offseason. Could Josh Allen be on the line?
No, I think the last thing Buffalo is going to do is trade Josh Allen. Yeah, it's just one of those. It reminds me a lot of after the Super Bowl with the Packers. I mean, the whole decade that you had there, basically with Mike. I guess just shy of a decade, but a good 8 years or so of Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers just having great regular seasons and not doing shit with it. And would I have liked to have seen some movement sooner? before it got to the point where it was like, oh wait, yeah, this shit's just not working. Yeah, but that's hindsight, right? And with Buffalo, it's like they've had so many seasons where it's like, oh yeah, okay, we're really damn good this year. This could be the year. This could be the year. And it's like, oh, we lost a heartbreaking overtime game to the Chiefs in overtime. We lost a heartbreaking overtime game to the Chiefs in overtime. We lost a heartbreaking fourth quarter, to the Chiefs. Not in overtime, but or whoever else. But every single year, there's been something that has just been missing from this Buffalo team, and they've had some really good rosters, better rosters than this year. Their roster, actually, I would say over the last 3 seasons has slowly gotten worse. So I didn't expect a whole lot of them out this year, even without Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar Jackson in this playoffs, but it's one of those things where you get put into a situation where something has to change, something has to move, so the organization has to do something, and oftentimes that ends up being the coach.
Yeah.
Now, this is a super, super attractive job. Baltimore, too, right? Like, who wouldn't want to go fucking coach Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? Like, you're starting in a really good position, a really, really good position, and I'm curious to see what happens. We've got some coordinators that were rumored to move that have not really interviewed much. To me, it's going to be really interesting because Brian Flores, I know you're dealing with the ongoing lawsuit. He feels like a really good fit for either Baltimore or Pittsburgh, not necessarily Buffalo.
That's the biggest rumor I've been hearing is that Tomlin recommended Flores for the Pittsburgh job when he left.
Well, he coached not as a coordinator, but on that staff for maybe 1 year after. Pittsburgh hired him after the Dolphins kicked him to the curb, and then he got the defensive coordinator job with Minnesota. I could totally see him going back to Pittsburgh.
Oh, for sure.
Baltimore as well feels like a good fit for B-Flow. But
I feel like I'm going to stop you there, Noah. Brian Flores with his defensive background, and I know what that Ravens defense used to be with Ed Reed and everything like that. But it feels like
better to fix that damn defense when that offense is so explosive.
Yeah, but why fix a defense when you can just take over a well-made one and just coach TJ Watt in his prime? I mean, I don't know. If I'm being slow, I'm probably
Pittsburgh's got no fucking offense.
Why do you need an offense if you got a damn good defense, Noah?
Their defense was ass this year.
What wins champion? I know, and who can fix that?
They still are going to have offensive issues. It doesn't matter.
Kenny Pickett will be fine. Not Kenny Pickett. Who's the backup there now?
Mason Rudolph.
Is it Rudolph? Oh, yeah, it is definitely Rudolph. Probably. It's definitely Rudolph.
No, that'll be interesting. I know there's still, Todd Monken is a name that's still floating around. Did he end up anywhere yet?
Yeah. No, he has not ended up anywhere yet. That's a name still floating around, but that kind of feels like Eric Bieniemy, you know what I mean? Or Spags, like a name that gets thrown around a lot, but not really gets interviewed or anything like it. Shout out to Eric Bieniemy, by the way, graduating back from college to the OC job again with Kansas City.
Anyways, the Bills, the Ravens, both. Those are cream of the crop, top most attractive jobs I would say that are out there. The Giants would have been my third. Clearly,
you want to talk about that?
Well, clearly it took less than a week for the Giants to bring Harbaugh, less than a week between Harbaugh getting fired and Harbaugh signing with the Giants.
Oh, hold on, Noah. I think it took Harbaugh less than a week to figure out he wanted to go to the Giants. Because let's be real in what Harbaugh just inherited here with the New York Football Giants. He might try to bring Monken in. He might try to bring, and I think he should, because what did he inherit? He inherited a younger, I would dare say, more talented version of Lamar Jackson who can throw the ball downfield with better accuracy and better distance. Hold on, Noah, let me finish. Let me finish.
I was going to until you called Jackson Dart a younger, more talented Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Absolutely. He
Get
can
the
run the
fuck
ball.
out of here.
He
Get the
can
fuck out of here.
No, Lamar runs the ball better, but Jackson Dart can still run the ball, knows when to run the ball, puts his head down, yada yada yada. And then you've got Mr. CTE himself in Cam Scatterbo, who goes out there and cosplays as Derrick Henry every week, as Tractorcito every Sunday, and pretends that he can run over all of these guys. And he just puts his head down and runs. And then, holy shit, you actually have a top 5, top 10 receiver in Malik Neighbors. And then a defense.
Coming back off of an ACL tear.
Still coming back.
It was
an early ACL tear. Cam Scatterbo's injury was early as well. Jackson Dart coming into the offseason healthy, and then a defense that feels like it just needs a better scheme and maybe a couple more pieces in the draft. Noah,
they got some good pieces on D.
Noah, I think John Harbaugh got fired from his job and got upgraded.
I don't agree.
Because you're looking at Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, two of the most expensive positions in the NFL that you have on rookie contracts for the next 3 years now. And you can bring in a bunch of pieces with all of this young talent and everything. John Harbaugh arguably made the smartest decision of his career, choosing that. He had to have known McDermott was coming up or the Bills' job was coming up. I think he made the smartest decision of the coaching cycle.
Or he didn't know that and then quickly took the job with the Giants and then was like,
I think the Giants is more attractive than the Bills right now.
I could entertain that. However, I do think the Ravens, obviously they were the ones who fired him, but I do think the Ravens is more attractive than both of those. Like I said, obviously they're the ones who fired him, so they weren't going to rehire him. He couldn't apply for that one, but
outside of the Ravens, I believe the Giants is was the most attractive job, just given, again, the talent you have there. And again, it feels like the Giants are going with Dart. I think Dart is that guy. And then Scatterbo is that guy, et cetera, et cetera.
The Bills I still have the Bills over the Giants just because you have an already built winning roster. Now, if you're looking at like
winning
3 to
what?
5
Winning what?
Games.
Winning what? Games. Yeah, but then you can't win in the playoffs, so what does it matter? Again, the receivers couldn't catch a football to save their life. Josh Allen has to be Superman for you. When they shut down the run game, James Cook is a non-factor. I mean...
Yeah, so you're saying a new coach with new scheming, bringing in 2 new coordinators isn't going to change that. It might not, but it definitely can. It just depends on what you're looking for. The Bills are better set up for win now. If you're looking at a 3 to 5 year outlook, I think the Giants are better set up than the Bills are. But I mean, maybe
I am looking at it that way. I might be looking at it that way because I don't see. I see this.
You're looking out 3 to 5 years. You're looking out 3 to 5 years. Harbaugh's not going to come in and have this team being a Super Bowl contender in year 1 or 2. They're still. They have a really young team with a lot of really good talent.
I don't know about that. Oh,
the Giants are not.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. They're in a good place in the draft. Joe Schoen, I mean, he's a bum, but he's had a couple good draft picks here and there.
They've drafted really well, unlike Brandon.
Unlike Bean. Baltimore.
I was going to say Brandon Bean.
Unlike Brandon Bean, too.
Who historically has had really good drafts, but the last 3 drafts have just not been good for me.
They've not made sense. Not made any sense at all. And now, you got Harbaugh in the building. I don't know, man.
Except for the problem. The problem that I have is I don't think Schoen's going to listen to Harbaugh's input. He didn't listen. He hasn't had a history of listening to people's input and just drafts whoever.
Here's the difference, though. Harbaugh has a Super Bowl.
True. Daboll didn't.
That's the difference. Daboll didn't. And
Bro,
Daboll.
What if the Bills just hired Daboll? Bring him back. That would just be fun. I don't think they'll do it, but it would be funny.
I would love that. Well, hold on. What was the Schefter report? Hold on. I had one that with Dable's name. Give me 2 seconds. Asked about. Oh wait, did you hear about? Oh wow! Actually, breaking news: DC Brian Flores has signed a contract extension with the Vikings.
Fuck that.
So he
dude.
will not be available.
God, I was hoping he was going to be hired somewhere else. Just get him out of the fucking division. I don't want to.
I know. But the Bills have requested head coaching interviews, amongst others, but the big ones being Brian Dable, and then their own offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, and Commanders' run game coordinator, Anthony Lynn. So other names obviously within that list, but those being the big three there.
So the Bills are just doing stupid shit.
I think the Bills, this is why the McDermott firing confused me. It felt like McDermott was going to get put on a 1-year notice of Super Bowl or bust, and then he wasn't going to win the Super Bowl next year, and he gets fired. And Mike Tomlin spends a year in TV, so his contract lapses with the Steelers so that the Steelers don't have any contractual control over him, and then he takes the Buffalo job and takes over Josh Allen. That's where I thought they were going. And then they fired McDermott. Because I know Mike Tomlin says he's stepping away from head coaching. He seems too young and doesn't seem like that kind of a guy that's ready to step away. He's just waiting for the right situation, just like Sean Payton was when he went to TV for a year and then goes to to Denver. That's what it felt like to me with Tomlin. But with the Bills moving that quickly on McDermott, I don't know if they have a long-term plan in mind. I think Dable would probably be the best fit for them. Robert Saleh going to the Titans and some rumors of him bringing in Dable as the OC there. I mean,
They're running out of time and options. I know Jesse Minter's a guy who's been thrown out a lot. By the way, Chargers hell of a signing an OC with Mike McDaniel. I think, dude, they fired Greg Roman so quick, fired the offensive line coach so quick, as they needed to do, and then going and hiring a really good offensive mind who.
Great offensive mind.
Hopefully unlock something in Justin Herbert there if Harbaugh allows him to call plays.
That's going to be the big key there.
Mike McDaniel could go crazy with this Chargers offense, and you got a great young back in Omarion Hampton. That was a slam dunk hire, I think, by the Chargers.
Yeah.
Whether or not they can hold on to Minter, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Dolphins hiring Jeff Hafley, obviously. I was bummed about that. I was hoping the Packers did bad enough to end the season that Hafley wasn't going anywhere because I think he's a hell of a coach. Yeah, so that's that. And then
also a quick RIP to the Lions offense next season. As the Lions sign ex-Arizona OC Drew Petzing as their new OC. And, listen, Drew Petzig's burner today was very convincing. You know what I mean? Like, he's respected. Dude, no, we found his burner. Like, Arizona found his burner. He was trying to talk himself up like, oh, he's so respected in offensive circles in the NFL and everything, yada, yada. Great, dude. What the fuck did you do for the last 3 years? Absolutely not a goddamn thing. So, Lions, enjoy being the Lions again. And last place in the NFC North with Drew Petzing and the number, I'll be respectful. I'll say the number 22 offense in the NFL with Drew Petzing as your OC. So, congratulations on that. I'm glad I get to share and I mean, like, Lions fans were retweeting like Cardinals tweets I saw mid-season about Drew Petzing. And like the Osama bin Laden ones and everything like that. Like, and they're like, oh shit, what did we do? And it's
Well,
like, nah, y'all fucked up. That's what y'all did. Y'all fucked up.
Dan Campbell wanted Petzig in the building.
That's a wild move.
GM listened. I'm not saying Dan Campbell's going to get fired next year, but if their offense looks like,
The
you go
Cardinals
from,
did this year.
oh my God. Yeah. I mean,
If they like,
you go from Ben Johnson offense, 2 years to this year. And then if Petzig's offense looks even worse this year, there's going to be some questions that start getting asked, and Dan Campbell might have a short 4 or 5 year stint with the Detroit Lions. As much as he was loved,
come to Arizona, baby.
I don't think he gets fired this year unless shit goes really, really bad. But if it goes bad next year and then the year after doesn't get off to a hot start, I mean, we could see Dan Campbell getting fired already.
I think he has a longer leash than that. I think he has a little bit longer of a leash than that, just because he's been the first winning.
Won shit.
Yeah, he's the first winning head coach with this franchise. Like, he can bring in a bad.
That's why Stefanski lasted 6 or 7 years with the.
No. Stefanski lasted that long because ownership told him, no, Deshaun Watson's your quarterback now. We're shipping off Baker Mayfield.
No.
That's why Stefanski has his job.
No, it's the same thing with Dan Campbell. He's got a long leash because he played for he's coaching for a franchise that hasn't ever won fucking shit. Stefanski took over for the Browns, took him to the playoffs like 2 years, won a playoff game, which is like, for the Browns is like. And he landed real quick, by the way. He landed real quick, and I do think Stefanski's a hell of a coach. And I think where'd he end up?
The Falcons. Right? Wasn't it the Falcons? Hold on, time out. Let me double check myself. That sounds wrong, but I believe it was the Falcons.
If it is, he's reunited with Kirk Chainz,
which would be fucking dangerous. Because he got, where did he go? Because I know Baker Mayfield is excited to see him twice a season now.
Yeah, it must be the Falcons then.
Yep,
yeah,
Falcons.
I remember seeing that. Yeah, he's Kevin Stefanski going to the Falcons, reuniting with Kirk Chainz. Arguably better weapons than Stefanski's offense had.
Way better.
Because Stefanski was way back when with the Vikings. God, that feels so long ago. Because then we had Kubiak. And then,
the Vikings, or was that with the the Redskins?
No, he was with the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
He was a Vikings OC before he got hired as a head coach with.
Oh shit, Browns. You're right. I forgot Kirk was with them for that long.
I believe Stefanski was with the Browns for 6 years. It's not right in front of me.
Yeah, 6 years.
But yeah, no time off from being a head coach, and I do think he's a hell of a head coach. He just got stuck into a shit situation with Cleveland.
I think that, and again, I think that was ownership. I don't think that was and I think that's why he had again the whole Deshaun Watson thing, and then you draft the the scuttlebutt of quarterbacks that you draft this year. I mean, any head coach will get fired with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you deal a guy a 2 jack every single hand and expect him to,
try to split it and double his money every time, and you're going to get fucked.
I wasn't talking blackjack. I was talking hold'em.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, probably not going to happen. But Stefanski's going to be in an interesting situation there in Atlanta with an ownership and a GM who are very pro head coach. I mean, Raheem Morris, the fact that he got fired and was giving big hugs to everybody. I think this might be the end of Michael Penix. Maybe not the end, but
it's done. He's done. I was about to say, can I make my big prediction for next year?
He'll stay as the backup, but he got injured and Kirk kind of took back over. Kirk's got 2 years left on this big ass fucking contract that they gave him. Stefanski knows Kirk Cousins. He likes Kirk Cousins. They've done really good things together before. And you start looking at, who are their weapons on offense? Yeah, you got Bijan Robinson, Drake London,
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Go Atlanta's got a not a top 10 pick, but I think just outside of that. With the amount of quarterbacks that are allegedly going to be taken in the first six,
Straight
7
up, get
rounds,
Jeremiah Smith. I mean,
yeah, go get a really good other stud wide receiver to go alongside of Drake London to open up Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. And then next thing you know, who cares what the defense looks like because your offense is going out there and throwing up 40 points a game with Kirk Cousins in the helm.
Yeah, no, I was
maybe
about
a little
to say
offensive line help. Maybe a little offensive line help too. But
I was about to say my way too early.
He's an offensive guy. He's an offensive guy, and they have the opportunity to put together a lethal offense in Atlanta.
I was going to say my way too early prediction for next year is that not only is Kirk Cousins the starter next year for Atlanta, but he is in the playoffs with Atlanta next year. I think under Stefanski and what he knows about Cousins and what Cousins can do, and especially because he was going to Atlanta off of that torn ACL. You know what I mean? Or no, that was the Achilles. I'm sorry. He had the Achilles. He came back off a torn Achilles, and he went a little under 500, and they throw Penix in there. He has 3 good games. I from what we saw this season,
that's generous.
He won 3 games, so I was saying he had 3 good games.
The unfortunate truth is Penix has looked like ass. I do think they tried to rush him in quicker than they should have.
Yeah.
But when he has been in there, he's looked like ass last season and this season. Kirk hasn't even looked great, but he's looked like the better quarterback.
No, but Kirk, no, I wouldn't even say Kirk's looked bad. He's looks like Kirk.
Yeah, reunite him with Kevin Stefanski, who really
understands him. Yeah,
and earned Kirk a lot of fucking money too, by the way.
Oh, bro, you know his next.
Speaking of Bijan, he is courtside at the U of A game. Tucson kid, by the way. Did not go to U of A, but he is a Tucson kid. He is courtside for the U of A game.
Well, you know, when a team is unanimously number 1 in the country, you got to go see how they operate.
Well, he's probably home seeing his family, and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to."
I want to go see number 1 unanimous. I want to see unanimous number 1.
Yeah, but yeah, Falcons' offense could be fucking dangerous next year.
I'm going to correct you. No, the Falcons will be dangerous next year. I do believe.
That's my fucking sleeper quarterback pick for next year.
For fantasy next year? Kirk Cousins? Absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to drop to like late rounds, and I'm going to just sit and wait, and then I'll take Kirk in one of the late rounds and just be like, all right, give me my 25 points a game.
Yep.
Kirk O'Chain's coming back at it. What vacancies do we have left, by the way, just to wrap up the head coaching carousel in the NFL? Because we have Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Buffalo still open, Arizona still open. Raiders.
Titans are locked up with Saleh. Raiders are going to be... I think are the Raiders locked up?
Raiders are open.
Raiders are wide open. Yeah, because head coach was not there for the national championship game, so... Raiders are open.
Are those the 5 that are still?
Yeah, that seems like the 5. Let me ask AI real quick.
Are the Jets? I don't even know what's going on with
the Jets. Jets are retaining Aaron Glenn.
Oh,
they would have if they wanted to, they would have needed to fire him already.
Yeah, no, that's crazy work. You know, you hire a who's supposed to be a really good defensive mind, a really good defensive coach, and then you have 0 interceptions in a season.
Well, I mean, he was hired late in the cycle last year. That was not an early cycle pick. Didn't really have.
But you still hire a defensive coordinator from some team. You have more than 1 interception on the year.
Well, you trade your only cornerback worth half a damn. Opening head coach.
Colts got a lot of use out of him.
Opening vacancies. You got the Ravens, Bills, Browns, Cardinals, Raiders, Steelers. Matt Nagy feels like he's going
Oh,
to be a
Browns.
good Browns head
The
coach.
Browns are the one.
That feels like a great Browns head coach right there.
Somehow Zach Taylor's got his job still. The Bengals should just fire Zach Taylor, and then we'll have the whole AFC
Whole
AFC North open.
They're not going to fire him though. Joe Burrow's going to have to demand a trade before they fire him. If I can just say one last thing as a Cardinals fan here, Michael Bidwell, please, for the love of God, just pay a little bit more than you're uncomfortable with. Just if you're uncomfortable with a number, pay them a little bit more. Let's try winning a game next year. Let's try.
Greg Roman, new head coach.
Fuck you, Noah. Fuck you. I mean, besides the mats that are available, that's literally the last person I want is fucking Greg Roman, because then he's going to keep Kyler Murray.
Hey, Mike McCarthy's out there.
I think he might be going to the Steelers if Flores doesn't. Flores isn't. I think he's going to the Steelers.
He is a Pittsburgh guy, born and raised. So
I think he's with the Flores signing today. I think he's going to the Steelers.
What do you mean with the Flores signing today?
Vikings extended him.
Sorry,
extension, with the extension. Sorry.
Yeah. I could see that. It just is a bridge thing. Like if it doesn't work out in 2-3 years, like whatever, fire him, get somebody else.
Yeah,
but he's a born and raised Pittsburgh guy, so that would make sense.
It would be what the Raiders tried to do with Pete Carroll, like a 2-3 year guy. You bring him in as a bridge, like you said, a bridge guy, and then set him up for someone else.
That guy after 1 year.
Yeah, you know how it is. Anyway, you ready to rip off our picks for the weekend, Noah?
Let's do it.
Heavy NFL show, and it will continue to be a heavy NFL show as we go towards the Super Bowl. But we do have the divisional round this weekend, Noah, and bangers, just bangers. I'm ready for it. No, let's start off with the early game, and I'm on the wrong screen. Of course I am. Let me do this one. There we go. Patriots, Broncos to start us off. Patriots, 5.5-point favorites on the spread. 42.5 is the total. Bo Nix going to be out this game with a broken ankle. Jarrett Stidham. Yes, Noah, you heard that correctly. Stidham time is here for the Broncos. 76% of the bet, 76% of the money all over the 5.5 book has not moved off of it. 81% of the bets, 84% of the money line on the money line as well with the Patriots. I told you last week, Noah, we had to wait one more week for the House of Cards to fall. And here it is. Here is the House of Cards falling. I did not think that Bo Nix would be injured for the House of Cards falling, but I do believe that we go with it here. 5.5 does concern me. I do think that the Broncos defense is good enough. I am going to take the Patriots minus the 5.5. Not the biggest fan of it. Might buy it down to 3.5 and just, I don't even like that. I mean, I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Patriots sneak away with this one. Probably going to be a live line bet for me.
So if you think it's close, why not take Denver plus 5.5?
Because I haven't bet on Denver all year, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, here's where I'm at with this one. I'm going to go 27-6. Patriots take this one. Give me the Patriots. Love the 5.5. I'm surprised this is not at 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, something like that. With Bo Nix being out, clearly the book does not really care that much.
The book respects the what this line tells. Oh, fuck me. I fucked up my headphones. What this line tells me is that the book respects the defense more than anything.
What this line tells me is the book thinks there's only a 3 or 4.
Jared Stidham or Sean Payton as a head coach. I think it's more of a defensive respect from the book.
What this line tells me, which fits my narrative, is that the book only thinks there's probably a 3 or 4 point difference between Bo Nix and Jared Stidham.
I broke my fucking headphones. I'm going to have to hold it like this. Keep going.
But Yeah. I'm saying 27-6 New England final score. Give me New England. Give me the under because I don't think Denver's going to really do a
Yeah,
god fucking thing on offense. Cortland Sutton, yeah, he's good. Is he really that good though? I mean, he literally the amount of drop balls that I've seen him drop that are called catches just in like the last 6-7 weeks
I know.
alone is crazy. Only because I've seen it happen like 4 times, and that's wild to me because the NFL's like so on top of like, oh, the nose of the ball moved and it moved and on the ground, and so that's not a catch. Yet somehow that's happened with Cortland Sutton like 5 times, and they've all been
It's
called
fine. It's
catches.
fine.
I don't know what the NFL is doing. I don't know what kind of ball hold that Cortland Sutton has on the National Football League, but I don't think the Broncos receivers are particularly a super impressive bunch. Jarrett Stidham coming out of quarterback has not started a game since 2023. I've been in the league for 7 years, has 7 starts over those 7 years. I just don't see it working out in the Broncos' favor here. Yeah, they have a good defense. That's fine.
Yeah.
Drake May's going to go out and do his fucking thing. Stephon Diggs does have a court hearing 2 days before this game
Oh, that's right. Let's see what that turns out to be.
for felony strangulation and a handful of misdemeanors. This is the NFL, though, so I would be willing to bet that he will be playing in this game. He's probably going to have to be on a different flight than the rest of the team. But we'll see if that makes a difference or not. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, give me Patriots to cover the spread easy. I am leaning on towards the under here because I just don't think Denver's going to be able to generate any fucking offense. Their running backs are not that impressive. Their receivers are not that impressive. Maybe Sean Payton. Their only saving grace is he runs that stupid dink and dunk fucking offense that works for Bo Nix. If it can work for Bo Nix, it can work for Jarrett Stidham, I guess.
That's for sure. That
Jarrett
is
Stidham has
for
not
sure.
started a game though with Sean Payton as head coach. Yet the Broncos have retained him for like
Preseason.
fucking years. True. So he should know the offense. It's dink and dunk. I mean, how hard is it to throw damn screen passes?
I don't know. I could do it, and I could do it. Anyway, we're both on the Patriots. Noah, next game, Rams, Seahawks. Seahawks, 2.5-point favorites. 46.5 is the total. 51% of the bets, 56% of the money coming in on Rams with the spread. And 74% of the bets, 61% of the money coming in on Seahawks money line. So overall, I would say the public is split in this one. Here's the thing, Noah, and here's the thing that I had to remind my coworker that's a Seahawks fan today. I believe the Zach Charbonnet injury is a hell of a lot more important to Seattle than anyone is really letting up. I think that is not only a huge blow to their run game and their two-headed monster there with Kenneth Walker, but that's a huge blow game to the entire offense. That was their third down guy, their short yardage guy that they got to get those extra yards. And now they're without him. Not only that, but the Seahawks in their last meeting with the Rams, that was without Devontae Adams and was an extremely close game. I don't have that score in front of me, but I remember it being within a field goal, I believe, or within a touchdown. Either way, a close game here. Going to be played in Seattle. Going to be played with the 12s. This is a division matchup, so go ahead and give me under 46.5 in this one. I will be taking the Rams on the money line in this one. I do have the Rams on a future for a Super Bowl here, and I do think the Zach Charbonnet injury is enough to derail the Seahawks, along with Devontae Adams being back in this matchup. I think that's going to be too much for the Seahawks. Give me the Rams on the money line. Give me under 46.5 in this one.
Yeah, I think this is a crazy game where I'm going to say this is one of the few instances in the NFL where I think one guy is going to make the difference in this entire game.
What's the one guy, Noah?
This one guy who's going to dictate. I'm sure you can guess it, AJ, but the one guy who's going to decide whether or not the Seahawks or the Rams win this game is none other than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold and whether or not the ghosts are gonna show up yet. And I say yet because if they do win this game, they will show up in the Super Bowl. I almost guarantee it.
Well, hold on. No, I do want to just give you a pause there for a second because the last matchup with the Rams and the Seahawks, Sam Darnold did throw an interception in the first quarter and continued to not throw an interception the rest of the game, and they ended up winning that game again without Devontae Adams, but still early interception, and Sam Darnold seemed to figure it out from there. I am of the belief that Sam Darnold is past his ghost seeing phase at this point.
I don't buy it.
No?
I don't buy it. You know how great of a season he had last year for
he had a great season.
And then the playoffs rolled around. Oh man, those ghosts, those skeletons, they all came out of the closet, and he played well last week. It's one playoff game. He had one good playoff game. Is it going to happen this week? I don't know. I am slightly favoring the Rams, but here's the thing. If Darnold plays a solid game, takes care of the ball, even without Charbonnet, the Seahawks win this game. They win this game. Now, here's the thing. Darnold comes out and he throws 3-4 interceptions, which he is capable of doing. If the ghosts and the skeletons are all coming out of his closet all at once, he falls on his fucking face flat, reverts back to ghost seeing Sam Darnold, which I think he will at some point. I don't know if it'll happen in this game, but it will happen at some point. Rams are going to run away with this one. So this is a really tough one for me to handicap. I am going to, I guess, take the Rams just because I feel a little bit better about them. Because Stafford's not going to have a horrendous game.
No, he just doesn't do that.
He might not have a phenomenal game. Seattle's defense really good. Love them. Great defense. Stafford's not going to have a fall on your face in the fucking mud into a pile of dog shit type of game. Sam Darnold has that in his bag.
Yeah.
Will it happen? I don't know. He's been playing really well this season, but it could happen. Sam Darnold's shown us before that it can happen, and it could happen again. And so for that reason, I cannot put my faith in backing the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. I have to take the Rams, but I do like the idea of the under. This is an NFC matchup. Two offenses that have put up a lot of points this year, but feels like this could be a nice traditional 6-3 type of NFC West game.
Yeah, like
I don't think it'll be that low, but you know what I mean.
No, a couple touchdowns will be scored. If you're curious who I think will score a touchdown, I do like Devontae Adams anytime touchdown, and I like Kyron Williams anytime touchdown. AJ, you don't like Puka? No, I don't like Puka Nacua for a touchdown in this game because I feel like the Seahawks have seen that, done that, and they're going to go ahead and double him, and leave Devontae wide open. Anyway.
K9's got to be a hot ticket for anytime touchdown. I mean.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Or, hear me out, no touchdowns. 9-6.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me with a good time, Noah.
9-6
don't
Rams
tempt me with a good time.
9-6 Rams win in overtime.
Do you have anything else in the NFL, college football, or anything like that, Noah?
Just make sure if you're looking at a book and you're taking a Jared Verse anytime defensive touchdown that you're well aware that special teams does not count.
Yes. I do want to leave us with a freezing cold take that just popped up on my timeline, Noah, from the account Freezing Cold Take. So I do want to go ahead and read from them, as I do believe they are damn near almost as good as the Bible. This idea of somebody going, this idea of somebody's going to go 16-0 in college football, man, put a statue up somewhere of that team, because I don't know it's going to happen again. Steve Sarkisian at the SEC spring meetings. Steve, I will personally be delivering it will be small, but it's going to be a statue of Indiana and Kurt Signetti to the building. So just keep a lookout for that. Anyway, hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube, X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit the follow button. Does help us out a lot more than it know. What's it worth? I did go 4-0 in the NFL last week. That was a lot of fun. But thank you all for listening. What?
You said 0-4?
4-0.
Oh, I heard 0-4, but
no, 4-0. I know it's rare for me, but I put the 4 in front of the 0 this time. No, I swept last weekend in the NFL. The one weekend I didn't put a parlay together of all my picks, I fucking sweep. Yeah. It happens. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm the Brofic 20 AJ. That's the Money Train Noah. We'll see you next time here on Degenerate Takes.